Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jihad. Jihad lived in a beautiful small village with green fields and big trees. He was a very cheerful boy. He always wore a bright smile on his face. He was incredibly optimistic. Whenever people asked him about his future, he would say, "Do not worry, big things are coming my way. I will be very rich and famous one day." However, there was a big problem with Jihad. He was very lazy. He had big dreams, but he did not do any work to achieve them. Every morning, Jihad woke up very late. His mother would call him to study or help with the household chores. Jihad would smile and say, "Mother, why are you in such a hurry? There's plenty of time. I will do it tomorrow." During the day, Jihad sat under a large mango tree. He watched the clouds drift across the sky. He imagined himself flying in airplanes, living in a palace, and owning beautiful things. He spent hours talking to his friends about his grand plans. But when his friends went to work in the fields or went to school, Jihad stayed behind. He thought that hard work was for people who did not have good luck. He truly believed that luck would find him eventually. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Jihad's friends started to grow up. Some became good farmers. Some started small shops. Some went to the city to study. But Jihad remained under the same mango tree, waiting for his perfect future to arrive on its own. He grew older, but his pockets remained empty. His family became worried about him, but Jihad remained cheerful and careless. He always said, "Time is a river. It keeps flowing. My turn will come." One sunny afternoon, a stranger arrived in the village. His name was Mr. Rahman. Mr. Rahman was known across the land as a very brilliant and wise man. He had built schools, helped many businesses grow, and traveled across the entire world. He had gray hair and kind, piercing eyes that seemed to see right through people. He came to the village to rest for a few days. Jihad heard about the wise man. He thought, "This is my chance. I will go and talk to this brilliant man. He will see my optimism, and maybe he will give me a grand opportunity." The next day, Jihad found Mr. Rahman sitting by the river. The wise man was watching the water flow. Jihad walked up to him, bowed respectfully, and sat down next to him. "Good afternoon, wise sir," Jihad said, with his signature bright smile. "My name is Jihad. I am a very positive person. I know that I am destined for great success. I have massive plans for my life." Mr. Rahman looked at Jihad. He smiled gently. "That is wonderful, young man. Optimism is a beautiful quality. Tell me, what did you do today to bring yourself closer to your grand plans?" Jihad rubbed the back of his neck. He chuckled nervously. "Well, today I did not do much. I spent the morning planning in my head. You see, I believe the perfect moment will come. There is no need to rush. We have so much time in life." Mr. Rahman did not argue with Jihad. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a beautiful, shiny gold coin. It was the most beautiful coin Jihad had ever seen. It sparked brilliantly in the sunlight. Jihad's eyes widened. "Wow, that is a magnificent coin, sir." Mr. Rahman nodded. "It is very valuable. And today, Jihad, I am going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you this gold coin, but there's a strict rule." Jihad became very excited. "What is the rule, sir? I can do anything." Mr. Rahman pointed to a small wooden table near his bench. On the table, there was a small glass hourglass. The sand inside was slowly pouring from the top bulb to the bottom bulb. "Look at this glass," Mr. Rahman said. "It takes exactly 1 hour for all the sand to fall down. I will give you this gold coin right now. For the next 1 hour, you can use this coin to buy whatever you want in the village market. The shopkeepers know me. They will give you anything in exchange for this coin. If you buy seeds, you can start a farm. If you buy books, you can learn a trade. If you buy tools, you can start a workshop." Jihad reached out his hand eagerly, but Mr. Rahman held the coin back for a second. "Wait," the wise man warned. "Here is the most important part of the lesson. You must spend the coin before the final grain of sand drops to the bottom of the glass. If the sand runs out and you still hold the coin in your hand, the coin will instantly turn into a worthless, ordinary piece of black stone. Do you understand?" "Yes, I understand completely," Jihad shouted. He snatched the gold coin from Mr. Rahman's hand. He felt the heavy weight of the gold. He felt like the luckiest boy in the world. Jihad looked at the hourglass. The sand had just started to fall. 1 hour is a very long time, Jihad thought to himself. I don't need to run to the market immediately. The market is only a 10-minute walk away. I should sit down for a moment and make a perfect list of what to buy so I do not make any mistakes. Jihad sat down on the grass near the river. He held the gold coin tightly. He started to think, should I buy a cow? No, a cow takes too much work to feed. Should I buy silk cloth to sell in the city? Yes, that sounds elegant. Or maybe I should buy a large plot of land. As he was thinking, a friend walked by. The friend saw the gold coin and gasped, "Jihad, where did you get that beautiful gold?" Jihad felt very proud. He stood up and showed off the coin. He spent the next 15 minutes explaining his challenge to his friend. He told his friend how clever he was and how rich he was going to become. The friend congratulated him and walked away. Jihad looked back at the hourglass. Half of the sand had already fallen to the bottom bulb. 30 minutes were gone. "Oh, I still have 30 minutes, Jihad said confidently. "That is plenty of time. But my stomach is growling. I cannot make good business decisions on an empty stomach. I will quickly walk to the food stall, buy a nice lunch, and then I will go to the main market." Jihad walked slowly to the food stall. The aroma of fresh bread and roasted meat was delicious. He ordered a large meal. Because he had a gold coin, the food stall owner treated him like a king. He took his time eating. He savored every single bite. He talked with the restaurant owner about politics and the weather. He felt very important. When he finished his meal, he wiped his mouth and walked back to the riverbank to check the hourglass and collect his things before heading to the market. When Jihad reached the table, his heart stopped. Only a tiny sliver of sand remained in the top bulb of the glass. The grains were falling rapidly, one by one. "Oh no!" Jihad panicked. He looked at the market down the road. It was too far. He could not run there in time. He held the gold coin tight in his fist. He closed his eyes and prayed. "Please, just a few more minutes. I'm an optimist. Good things are supposed to happen to me." He opened his hand. The last grain of sand dropped through the tiny neck of the hourglass. Instantly, the bright, shiny gold coin in Jihad's hand lost its warmth. It turned a dull, dark color. It became rough and cold. It was no longer gold. It was just a regular, useless black stone from the river. Jihad stared at the stone. His tears filled his eyes. He dropped to his knees. He felt a deep, heavy pain in his chest. He had the key to a bright future right in his hands, and he had let it slip away. Mr. Rahman walked up to Jihad and placed a gentle hand on Jihad's trembling shoulder. "Why are you weeping, Jihad?" the wise man asked softly. "I lost everything," Jihad sobbed. "I was too late. I thought I had plenty of time. I wasted it talking, boasting, and eating. If only I had run to the market immediately, the coin became worthless." Mr. Rahman looked at the black stone in Jihad's hand. His voice was serious but kind. "Jihad, this stone is the most valuable lesson you will ever receive. This stone represents your life. Every single day, God gives you a treasure. That treasure is called time. Every day you receive 24 golden hours. You can use these hours to build a business, to learn something new, to help your family, or to improve your mind." The wise man pointed to the empty top of the hourglass.
But just like this sand, time never stops for anyone. It flows constantly. If you waste your hours in laziness, if you always say, tomorrow, those golden hours turn into worthless stones. Optimism without action is just a daydream. An optimist believes the future will be bright, but a successful person knows that the future is built by working hard today. Jihad wiped his tears. He looked at the black stone, and then he looked at Mr. Rahman. For the first time in his life, he understood. He realized that his laziness was destroying his potential. Time was his most precious asset, and he had been throwing it away. "Thank you, wise sir," Jihad said, his voice steadying. "I will never forget this day. I will keep this black stone on my desk forever to remind me of the value of time." From that very afternoon, Jihad changed completely. He did not wake up late.
He woke up at dawn, before the sun even rose. He made a schedule for his day and followed it strictly. He started working with an old carpenter in the village. At first, the work was very hard. His hands got blisters and his muscles ached. But Jihad did not complain. He did not say, "I will do it tomorrow." He focused entirely on the present moment. He learned how to measure wood, how to use a saw, and how to design beautiful furniture. Whenever Jihad felt tired or wanted to take an unnecessary break, he would look at the black stone in his pocket. He would remind himself, "The sand is falling. Work now." Years passed. Because Jihad was both highly optimistic and incredibly hard-working, he became a master craftsman. People from distant cities heard about his beautiful, strong furniture. He opened his own large workshop. He hired other young people from the village and taught them the same trade. He became very wealthy, just as he had always dreamed. He bought a nice house for his mother and helped build a new school in the village. One day, an old wise man visited Jihad's workshop. It was Mr. Rahman, now very old and walking with a cane. Jihad rushed to meet him. He bowed low and greeted him with a massive, joyful smile. He led Mr. Rahman to his grand office. On the center of Jihad's desk, sitting on a velvet cushion, was the plain black stone. Mr. Rahman looked at the stone and smiled deeply. "I see you kept the treasure I gave you." Jihad nodded with deep gratitude. "Yes, sir. You gave me a stone, but it taught me how to find the gold in every hour. I learned that optimism gives us hope, but it is the value we place on time that gives us success."